The Minister of Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory and former Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, has remained defiant over the ongoing crisis in the state, saying no law has been broken. This was as members of the People's Democratic Party Governors Forum visited the minister to appeal for calm over the crisis in the state. Amadine Uyi tells us more.
In attendance were several governors from the PDP Governors Forum, led by the chairman of the forum, the governor of Bauchi State. After a closed-door session, the team from the PDP expressed optimism that the crisis in Rivers State is already a resolved issue.
We are here on a routine courtesy call to our friend and a brother, and a member of our party who has been a good friend, a jolly good friend to all in our party, and a national figure who is dispensing national service as a minister of the FCT. And we know the antecedents of Governor Wike. We know his contribution to national politics and national development. We know his relationship with our colleague, the Governor Fubara of Rivers State. We know his numerous forays in politics. And we are not surprised that this matter is coming to an end, or it has come to an end the way it has. We would have waded into the matter, which would have been very simple because of our personal and interpersonal relationship with the FCT minister. But we are happy that this matter was resolved even at the instance of the Nigerian Governors Forum.
The FCT minister appreciated their visit, but reiterated his position on the crisis, saying no law has been broken, especially relating to the impeachment proceeding brought against the governor by the Rivers State House of Assembly.
Nobody can intimidate me. Nobody. It doesn't matter whether you go and drink talks on the road. It doesn't matter whether you want to say you're a job. If I want to do something, I will do it. Impeachment is not a military coup. Impeachment is provided under the Constitution. It's provided under the Constitution.
He dismissed reports making the round, alleging that the crisis degenerated because of non-payment of settlement by the governor to the minister, saying they remain a ridiculous attempt to misrepresent the facts.
I'm not interested in all the rumors, money, this and that. Rubbish. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. I just left office how many months ago? I'm an FCT minister. What is the word to which money? But nobody can take away our political structure. No one. You cannot walk and people will begin to bring enemies. Those who fought you. When you are struggling for the person to be in office. Nobody does that. I'm not a political ingrate. I'm not. But don't touch the political structure of the state. I will not shut my eyes.
With the PDP Governors Forum calling for calm, Nigerians will be hoping that the crisis in Rivers State can be resolved peacefully. Amadine Uyi, reporting for News Central.
To further discuss the political impasse in Rivers State, I have with me in the studio Public Affairs Analyst Bolawole. Of course, thank you so much for your time, Bola.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
All right, great. Now, I, of course, saw and read your extensive write-up on what is actually happening in Rivers State, and you painted a scenario. You talked about two elephants fighting, this time not in the forest, but in the city.
Yeah.
And of course, you also made reference to the administration of former Governor Den Amechi in your write-up. What exactly were you trying to convey, and what is your opinion as regards what is happening right now in Rivers State?
Thank you very much. This is not the first time we have a godfather and a godson squaring up to each other. We had it during the period of Governor Dr. Odile and Amechi. Rotimi Amaechi. In my write-up, I said that Odile was so pissed off with what he received as a reward for every effort he put into it to make Rotimi Amaechi a governor. He said he misplaced aggression. And that was what he received. And you can also realize that between Amaechi and Nyesom Wike, the same scenario played out, the same thing played out. One was the two of them were godfather, godson, and then after Amaechi helped to install Wike or the other way around, whichever one, they say Wike said it was the one who installed Amaechi. Amaechi said it was the one who installed Wike. The two of them collided, and as we speak, they are not on good terms. And now we have seen a situation again where Wike removed all the stops, did everything possible to make sure that every other contestant were sidelined, and then he brought this Simi Fubara and made him the governor. Fubara cannot say it was not Wike that made him the governor. Fubara did not have the structure. You can hear Wike talk about structure, the River State structure. And Fubara cannot claim to have the structure. And it was Wike that spent the money. It was Wike that moved all the forces. And then against even other people that thought that Wike ought to have supported them, Wike dished them, and they chose Fubara for reasons best known to him.
I mean, this particular scenario would lead me to the next question I would like to ask you. I mean, it used to be rosy, just like you said, between Sim, that's Governor Sim, and of course the former governor of Rivers State, Wike. And just like what you said during the elections, we saw where the governor actually did support financially, resource, and even endorsed, the present governor of Rivers State during the entire campaign. And of course, he eventually became the governor, talking about Governor Sim Fubara. What exactly do you think went sour between their relationship?
Yeah, Wike has explained it. He said, don't touch the political structure.
What do you think he meant by political structure?
That is, what he means is that people that are put in office, don't remove them. Places that I control the House of Assembly, don't tamper with it. I control the party structure, don't tamper with it.
But does it really have that right to, I mean, yes, we understand that he's supported and all of that, but if one is to look at it in terms of governance and, well, I call it the ability of the governor to have the free hand to actually do what he needs to do as the leader of the state, I mean, does Wike really have the moral ground to still dictate what goes on? You can't have two captains in a ship, basically.
Yeah, you see, did Fubara get into office on his own terms? That is the question you must ask. How did this governor become governor in the first instance? Was it on his own merit? Did he go out there to campaign and he got the support of the people? Did he finance his own campaign by himself? Was there an agreement between him and Wike? So it's likely that there was an agreement between him and Wike. It's likely that it was Wike that built the structure. You know, Wike has spent a lot of time in that place. He spent how many years he spent 8 years with Amaechi. Then from there he became governor and he has spent 8 years. So that man had been there, and before even with Amaechi, I understand that he was also, he had been in the politics of that place since 1999. So the guy has made a lot of contributions. He has built a lot of structures. He has built bridges all over the places. And now he does not want somebody to come and take all of that from him. If he wants to give it to you, if he wants to dash you, so I'm no longer interested in politics, I'm dashing you my structure. That's another thing. But I'm interested in politics, but I use my structure that I have built over a period of years. I use it to make you governor. Fine. Now you are governor. Now you want to take that structure from me without my consent. It would lead to a fight. It's not only in Rivers. Anywhere. I mentioned it in my write-up that if now that we have President Bola Tinubu as the president of Nigeria is in Abuja, can the governor in Lagos or anybody in Lagos try to take the structure from him and you won't see something happen? So everywhere that is how it happens, all over the country, that's what happens. They fight over structures because it is structure that will make you relevant politically.
Okay, now talking about political relevance, I mean, Wike, of course, has a untouchable godfather kind of status, you would say, particularly in Rivers State. Let's also talk about the, what I call it, a relative influence too of the new governor. I mean, I would not want to use the word underrated, but this recent event also showed that the governor, maybe to some extent, might have some sort of influence. I mean, there were videos of some youths who went to attack the house of the Speaker of the House, that's the State House in Rivers State, and of course some notable figures too in the state speaking on behalf of the governor. How much of an influence do you think the current governor, that's Governor Fubara, has to steady the ship of the state without the godfather?
Yeah, you see, when somebody becomes a governor, he automatically gathers clout. He's in charge of the budget of the state. And that runs into, excuse me, that runs into billions every month. He can dispense patronage. So a lot of people are going to gravitate around him. There is no doubt about that. A governor, once somebody becomes a governor in Nigeria that we are today, he is no longer an ordinary person. He has power. He has resources. So he cannot be easily overrun. But once you are a governor, you must also weigh the opponent that you want to take up. Is it an opponent that you can easily overrun? Assuming that Wike is not a minister, that he is just an ex-governor, it might have been easier for Fubara to take him on. But Wike is a minister. And as a minister, he's not just a minister of the FCT. He's just like a governor in that part of the country. So he also has resources. He said how many months ago that he left office as governor, and he's now a minister, meaning that his relevance is still there. A lot of his loyalists will still cling to him because even though he's not a governor where they can get patronage for him, he's a minister where they can get as much patronage or even better. So you have a situation where he's still very relevant. A governor that is just 5 months old in office, who should still be learning the curves and the ropes, who now decides to take a master strategist, a politician of the clout of Wike, I think he's biting more than he can chew.
Now, let's look at the mediation process currently happening. How do you preempt it will pan out? We've seen governors, getting involved. Even the president at some point also was involved in trying to steady this particular ship. How do you envisage that all of this mediation process will pan out? And what do you predict of the political future of Rivers State?
Because of the intervention of the president, Wike will simmer. I expect Wike to simmer and postpone the battle to another day.
What do you mean by postpone?
Yeah, because the person who decides to take your structure, who has shown you his hands, you can't trust him again. The level of trust between Fubara and Wike has been destroyed. That level of trust is not going to be there again. Wike is going to be very careful, very conscious, and very suspicious of Fubara. And Fubara himself cannot get close to Wike like he used to be. So I think the two of them will go back and re-strategize. I am not sure that we were going to have a lot of peace in Rivers. What we're going to have there after this intervention is peace of the graveyard. The two elephants that have started to fight will find other ways of fighting. You are going to see the two of them fighting by proxy. You're going to find a situation where regularly at intervals, you're going to have altercations. You are going to have throwing of stones at each other. Right. Except, of course, if we find people who can actually sit the two of them down and talk to them. If God's son can actually apologize, we have seen a lot of deputy governors apologize to the governors. It happens in Edo. We don't know whether the governor has forgiven the deputy governor. It happened again recently in Ondo State, where I come from. We don't know whether the governor has forgiven the deputy governor. So this one again, we have seen Fubara also talking in conciliatory terms. Let's hope that Wike will forgive and forget, and that they will allow Rivers to enjoy peace that it needs for its development.
All right. Public Affairs Analyst Bolawole, thank you so much for your time.
It's my pleasure.